So we have to break down those belief systems and show them what's going on. But the end of the day, it's like, how does it make you feel? That's the bottom line. I want people to get the energy that I have. I'm 52 years old and I'm ready to frickin' go.
Hey, Inspire Tribe, my fellow freedom lovers, Jean Nolan here. Thank you so much for tuning in again and joining us for another inspired conversation. And recently, I every now and then I'm brave enough to go through mainstream media reports. And if you watch the nightly news or any other kind of news, then you probably think, especially in cities, that it is so dangerous to go outside that you're most likely going to get unalived by some crazy person or something out there will immediately kill you. But what they're not really talking about are the real dangers, specifically in urban areas, to your health and your life that they won't touch, and we know why. But we thought we'd invite our dear friend Tim James, founder of Chemical Free Body, back to talk just about that, and more importantly, what you can do about it starting right now. Tim, it's great to have you back, sir.
Thanks for having me on, John.
Always a pleasure. And, you and I, we both live in beautiful rural areas on the farm, but a lot of people live in a city, and the news out there makes them believe that, something's going to kill them right away. But when you and I looked into it, the 5 most dangerous things for people living in urban areas are not immigrants.
It's the news.
The news is on top, but then the other 5 were quite surprising, were they, Tim?
Yeah, and it's just the standard stuff. Heart disease came in number 1, and then cancer. I mean, it was like 600 in the United States, 680,000 deaths of heart disease, a little over 613,000, I think, in cancer. Accidents was number 3, 2222, 698, 222,000. Here, stroke, 162,000, and then chronic lower respiratory diseases. Those are the lungs, 145,000. Murders, 22,830.
So out of the top 5 most common causes of death, 4 are health, lifestyle, and environment related, and not other people, killers, road rage, or anything like that.
Well, on number 3, the accident thing also goes to drug overdose. So that's lifestyle as well, and that's about half of those is drug overdose of the 222,000.
So there you go. So this is, it goes to show, and literally, I was thinking about that is how our perception is sort of misconstrued. And really where it gets more important is there's a lot of that people can do. We often talk about maybe someone can get their own land, grow their own garden. Not everybody's can or will do that. Some people will stay in a city in an apartment, but that means they can't be healthier than they are, Tim. Is that right?
No.
It's not right. They can't be healthier.
Oh, they can. They can be.
That's like, okay. So,
did I miss it? I must have missed it.
Tim was out there thinking about something.
I was thinking about all these deaths and how it's like Dr. Esselstyn said, like heart disease is a toothless tiger. I mean, very few people should be dying of heart disease at all.
Cardiovascular,
totally lifestyle.
heart disease, strokes, right? And this is the whole point, Tim, is before you and I can sort of assist people in getting on their journey, awareness. If you're not aware that you can change something or something needs to be changed, then you can't do anything about it. And that's what I love about your work. What about heart disease? What about cardiovascular? What about strokes? What can people do? Is it all genetic?
No. I mean, if you look around the turn of the century, around 1900, like 2 to 3%, some people say maybe even up to 10% there's genetics in it. That's that whole thing. Have you had Bruce Lipton on your show?
No, but we've talked about epigenetics so many times. So it's
epigenetics. It's like just, I mean, when they're trying to like we have this, healthy human cells, and we're going to put them in a known carcinogen in a petri dish, something that causes cancer. We know it's going to cause cancer. And then when it causes cancer, we're going to study that and try to find some thing that we can in nature that we can find that works, so we can synthesize it, patent it, and then sell it to people. That's the bottom line. My thought was, how about we don't put our healthy human cells in a disease cause environment in the first place? How about that? How about we do what the women did in the late 1800s that got sick and tired of, poor wages and, people pooping in the streets and urine in the streets and dead horses and cows and goats in the water supply. The women got mad and they got all that cleaned up. They changed the environment. And from all those those working class women, 48 years later, 98% of infectious diseases like the measles was gone. Now, was that and remember, the measles vaccine hit in 1963. So, but before that, it was 98% eradicated by women helping to what? Clean up the environment. When you're not stepping in poop and urine all the time, go figure, and you don't have a bunch of dead animals floating around in your water supply, you're going to be healthier.
So let's just put it this way. Today, probably there's still people that work on the improvement, but what can the everyday person do without improving the water supply, or maybe changing that there's chemicals in the water? What else can they do?
Well, they can improve their water supply. I mean,
There
all
you
this
go.
stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this, like heart disease. We know it's deficiencies. It's a B vitamin deficiency. I did a whole episode on that on my show. If people want to go, let me just look it up. It was heart disease. Let me see if I have it pulled up real quick. Yeah. Episode 140, the cholesterol, bad fat, heart disease myth. And what did it boil down to? B vitamin deficiencies, right? And in processed foods. I mean, that's heart disease. Cancer, same stuff. It's like deficiencies in nutrients, toxins, definitely toxins, and stress. And heart disease, stress is in there too. Accidents. Well, accidents happen, but the drug overdoses, these are people that are stressed out at some level and they're trying to hide from whatever with their drugs to get some relief. Stroke, and that's, brain disorders and stuff like that. Again, stress, toxins, nutrient deficiencies. And then the respiratory diseases, again, air, right? Air.
So a lot of
Stress.
times,
It's all the same stuff over and over.
A lot of times people think that, it takes so much to change something that they don't even get started. It's so overwhelming. But actually, you always teach like baby steps, and how some baby steps can be so monumentally impactful that people wouldn't even believe it. What are some baby steps?
Oh man, I can't even tell you how impactful this is, and something that I've done for years. And I started doing burpees about 80 some days ago, and I take one day off a week. And I actually had to take off about a week and a half because I tore a ligament in my elbow. So I'm going through regenerative medicine stuff to get that all healed up, and lasers and all this stuff. But today I did 78 burpees. And a lot of people are like, wow, that's a lot. But guess what I started off with? I added it to my routine. Day one, I did 1. Then the next day I did 2. Then the next day I did 3, and so on and so forth. And then on Sundays, I don't do any workouts unless I want to do it for fun, or if I wanted to play flag football or go for a hike or run, whatever. Then I get to use my body because it's in shape and it's fun because I can go do whatever I want, right? I got my buddy doing it. Today he did 37 burpees, and he got here and he's about 60 pounds overweight. He's already probably dropped 30 pounds in 6 weeks. He went back home to Portland just to get some more stuff, came back, and everybody was like, dude, you look great. You look amazing. What's he doing? Green juices twice a day, bone broth. I'm just giving him healthy food, and we work out every day. I got my sons 10 days ago on burpees. My oldest son, not as fit as my younger one, but he's an athlete. He just gained some weight. I was like, let's do burpees. Can you do 1 burpee? He's like, yeah, I can do that. In fact, I can do that. I said, start tomorrow. He's like, no, I can start tonight. I'm like, okay. Yesterday they did 10 burpees, and they're sending videos of me. They did the 1 burpee, then they did 2. And it doesn't have to be burpees, okay? It could be push-ups or plank or sitting in a squat position, or it could be walking to your mailbox. And the next day you walk to the mailbox and then to the corner. And the next day you walk half the block, and the next day you walk 3/4 of the block, and the next day you walk around the block, and then the next day you walk a block and a half. And it's the consistency. It's the lifestyle. What are you doing on the daily? So what you'll find out is if you do this kind of like a +1 method where you just add a little bit more every time, but you get out there, it's like magic. It's magical.
Even if you just, for example, on another lifestyle choice, most people drink some kind of juices or soft drinks, lots of coffee, but let's just say you were to shift over to water 80% of the time, good clean water. What would that change?
Everything. It would change everything, because how you do anything is how you do everything, and everything is connected. When you start doing 1 burpee a day, or you start replacing, maybe you even do what we do, is like we just try to get people to do green juice in the morning. Right. And if you're like, I'm doing coffee because I think I need it and all this stuff, and I love it, and it's part of my routine, and it's built into your emotional fabric, like, okay, chill out. You can do that later. Drink the greens first, then have your cup of coffee. And what we find out, usually about 5-6 months later, 70% of those people are like, I don't need my coffee anymore. And it makes me not feel that great when I take it. I get plenty of energy from the greens. And why are they getting plenty of energy from the greens? Because it's not in the soil. It's not in the food chain. It's not in the plants. It's not in the animals that ate the plants that you're eating. So you're deficient. Everybody's walking around on 15% fuel. We're just replacing what's missing. So you take this green juice in the morning, then you do it again in the afternoon after about half an hour to an hour before dinner. And guess what's going to happen? Your cells get flooded with nutrients. Your grocery bill cuts in half because you eat half as much food. That one thing, that's the stake that we always try to, when I meet somebody, I want to get them on those greens, because the greens comes with what? Comes with water, what you were bringing up. And they start drinking more water because they're doing the greens. That's the one thing. If we can get you those greens and get you on that water, amazing things are going to start happening. Just do that one thing. Don't worry about anything else. Don't worry about parasite cleansing and long-term fasting and, ground. And you can do all these other things. Let's just do one thing and get that just done. Drink some greens in the morning, drink them again in the afternoon, half an hour before dinner. Plan for it. Take it with you to work, whatever. Mix it up. Bring a bag or with you, whatever. Just get that done and make that a habit. And boom, you're going to have so much more energy and you're going to start feeling better. I just talked to somebody today. They're like, dude, I'm pooping better. Like, just already.
That's the one thing, Tim, that I believe in so wholeheartedly. Baby steps. Change one thing at a time, not 10. You're never going to stick with 10, but you can stick with one thing. And you just I think you just did something that's literally going to revolutionize greens, period. You're the first company that has made greens taste amazing without compromising any of the quality or adding any fillers or artificial stuff in it, which most companies do. And your greens have gone from tasting good, I like the taste, to tasting fantastic, so that people can drink it as a recreational drink. What did you do? And tell me what the reactions were at the latest.
It's like the first reaction was me, because for 10 years I've been trying to get these greens flavored so that kids could drink them. That was my goal, and other people too, because like I have this one guy, he takes them, but the rest of his family doesn't because they don't like the taste, right? Our current formula is very pure, very clean, 7 grams of just packed, concentrated stuff, like wheatgrass juice extract concentrated, 21 to 33 to 1. But like Jenner said, she's like, I didn't even read the ingredients until everybody started telling me I was losing weight. And then she's like, what's in this? I mean, people don't care. They just want results, okay? So what we did is I've been sending out for 10 years to flavor houses, trying different flavors and stuff. I could very easily, for 10 cents, per bag, I could have flavored it with synthetic flavoring and it would have tasted amazing. But that's like putting cat poop in the brownie recipe. It's chemical-free body for a reason. I was sick because I was putting chemicals in my body from the processed foods and drinks that I was consuming that I thought I was being protected. It's not the case. So what we did was, in this flavor house, I tried a bunch of them. I didn't like them. There's the last one. I ripped it open. I was like, oh, it's apple. It's like my original idea was apple and green apple and lime, because I love it in regular fresh pressed juices. And I mixed it up and drank it. I'm like, oh my God, like this tastes like apple sugar water. I mean, it was like almost too much for me, but I was like, this is what I can meet people where they're at. Kids will drink this like crazy. But I had to call them up. I'm like, are you sure you didn't put any chemicals in this or any nothing? I know stevia, also check your labels, guys, because if they're putting stevia into your foods and drinks and stuff like that, stevia is used in Africa as it blocks reproductive production. It's like what's the word? I can't believe.
Yeah. It's a anti
contraceptive. It's a contraceptive.
See,
okay,
we're
it's a
so
natural
out of the
contraceptive.
Yeah.
So maybe those of you that are young and you're using stevia and you can't get pregnant, well, there you go. Like that could be a major
Is that
problem.
why I can't get pregnant?
Now, it might be. It might be.
Hold on. Jeez,
I know your chicken started laying more eggs when you showed up. I don't know what's going on in the hen house.
No, but I can tell you one thing. So I got to share this with you. A few weeks ago or a month ago, we started adding some of the greens to our dogs' food, Montana and Jagger. And so I didn't put it together until a few days ago, but Montana gets her food. There's greens sprinkled on there, your greens, the green 85. A few minutes later, she's like, go. Like, and when they eat, you don't play with them. You want them to digest a little, but her energy levels are wonderful. And our older dog, which is more amazing because he's 15, same thing. Like when he eats the greens is like full of beautiful life force and energy. So it works for dogs as well. I know you don't advertise it, but it's quite amazing.
Yeah.
But
we have quite a few people use it on their pets too. Well, we're going to have to start telling people about it, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. But back to the apple flavored thing is like so many things, kids won't drink it. Husbands and wives complain about it and whatnot. I think this is it. I think people should get a taste, try it, go to your website.
It's unreal. It's unreal. We had one lady from the Healing for the Ages conference send us a picture. 5 little kids under 10 years old, all sitting around with a bag of Green 85 with the apple flavor on the counter on the dinner table. They all turned around with green mustaches and massive smiles. And she's like, they love it. So all these moms are excited now because all the kids want is radiated French fries. And then who knows what's in those chicken nuggets and the macaroni and cheese. It's garbage. It's poison. And they can't, how are they going to get the kids to eat vegetables nowadays? Well, now they can do it. One serving of this is equivalent to about 5 pounds of the most nutritious vegetables on the planet grown in the most nutritious soil. And
again.
You can get 10 pounds of that nutrition. One scoop is equivalent. One scoop is the equivalent of like the most nutritious food vegetables like mustard greens, potato greens, kale greens grown in the most nutritious soil, period. And then it's all in there. And because we've got moringa, we've got the wheatgrass, highly concentrated oat grass, spirulina, things people know, but this is all wrapped in 10,000 years of biological engineering system science with Dr. Treadway's work. So most of this genius is like not only the raw materials and stuff that we have in this thing, but the concentrates, the electron activity because the low processing and the low heat and all that stuff, but it's also Dr. Treadway's genius. He knows how to mix things together and how it's going to work in the human body before anybody even tries it. I mean, he studied Ayurvedic traditional medicine, which is 10,000 years old, and he was a master in that and a master in Chinese herbology. So I just tell people it's all a bunch of blah, blah, blah. Drink it and see what it does for you. I'll put it up against any other drink out there, period, end of story. And now the flavor is unreal. And they make us put 1 gram of sugar on there on the FDA label thing, but it's less than that. It's on the same as the other one, and there's like nothing. You'll see. Just try it.
So one simple change, and what you always say is, Tim, when people drink the greens twice a day, 2 servings, their grocery bill will cut in half because they can't eat as much because their body gets the nutrients. They'll look better. They'll feel better. They'll be healthier. So there's no downside here. Tell people where they can find it. And please tell them also how they can save while they're at it.
Yeah. The no-brainer is over at chemicalfreebody.com/inspired. And try it out. We have a lot of awesome products. I mean, the problem with our stuff is there's a story behind everything. It really takes an education. People understand the difference. Like we have to, because everybody's like, no, what about this? I was taught this. And it's like, you get potassium from bananas. And, we have all these things that we've been taught, right? And it's like, well, there's, you get more potassium from vanilla milkshake at McDonald's than you do out of a banana. But okay, I guess we'll roll with the potassium and the banana story, right? Because you have that story in your head. So we have to break down those belief systems and show them what's going on. But the end of the day, it's like, how does it make you feel? That's the bottom line. I want people to get the energy that I have. I'm 52 years old and I'm ready to frickin' go. And one of the reasons is foundational. I don't miss those greens. Even when I make a fresh pressed green juice, I still throw a scoop of that stuff in there and shake it up with it. I don't miss. You're going to get your energy back. And then from there, you have the energy to take the rest of your life back. And there's no cost, really.
And folks, if you're like me, years ago, I stood in front of the cupboard. I was looking at those supplement bottles, and I was thinking to myself, what the fuck? This can't be normal. It can't be normal that we need to take supplements. And I did a lot of research, a lot of digging. And what the research showed me is that I couldn't put that much food into my body that I would need because the soil is depleted, because we don't have the nutrients in the food. However, while Tim has produced this incredible product and there are other products, but the greens that we talked about today specifically, he's also working on a soil regeneration project. So basically, Tim's working himself straight out of a job, because the idea is not that we're going to be hooked to supplement products forever. The idea is that we get the knowledge back, regenerate the soil, grow healthy food, eat that food, and be fine. Have everything we need. Drink fresh water, and we're good. But for right now, where we are, we need the help. We need the support of the supplements. I'm not saying I like the idea, but I'm grateful that it's here. I'm grateful for people like Tim who invest all of their time and energy in creating excellent, high quality, natural products that will help you and your family. So please, this is us saying, help yourself in this way. Hop over to chemicalfreebody.com/inspired. Take a look around, put your hand on your heart, see if it feels good, and get started. One small change can have a huge, huge impact on your life.
Absolutely. And I would also say this now, that once people, if you like the stuff, if something that we have, and we have this thing called subscribe and save, where you get it's like our bundles, you get a discount when we order every month or every other month or every third month or fourth month or 6th month, whatever. As long as you're on that subscribe and save deal, you get into my inner circle that I teach every Wednesday, which is today. I don't know when this is going to air, but and you have a free coach to come ask questions. Like, I know the products better than anybody, and it's more than just products, and the products are just part of the toolkit that I've learned in 15 years that I want to share with you. And a lot of the stuff that I know doesn't cost anything. In fact, some of the best things all the best things that I've found that make the most difference in your health are sitting right around you, and you don't even know about them, and they're free.
You've talked about it on our previous shows. There's a playlist that people can watch with all our interviews. They can come to your website, then go to your podcast, and they'll also find your social media accounts there, right, if they want to follow along.
Yeah. And thanks to you, they finally got that going on after all these years. People are reaching out and saying, hey, your social media is looking great. Who's doing it? So thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. You know, we'd love to work with the best people in all areas. So I'm excited that's happening. Folks, support a good, small, family-owned company produced in America, formulated in America, with heart and spirit and mind and body and soul. Hop over to Chemical Free Body, and please do yourself a favor. Support this beautiful movement and yourself. And Kim, thank you so much. Tim, thank you so much. And Kim, whoever that is, thank you so much for joining us again today.
Thanks, brother.
Inspired Tribe, you know we love you. We appreciate you. We'll be back with you again very, very soon.